Hey guys, I'm focalbeats, and in today's episode I'm going to talk about how we can use Logic's own flex pitch to tune vocals. First I will show you how to activate your channel into flex pitch mode. Then I will show you every single function that it gives you and what you can do with those functions. And then finally I will go through and apply those functions to a vocal, which in turn will give you all the skills you need to be able to do a good job on your own vocal tuning. This is the track I'm going to use today, and it was a track I did a couple of months ago with an artist called Natalie. It is called Crystal, and it's available from early 2023 on streaming platforms. If you're watching this after that, there will be a link down below. So these are all the takes that Natalie did, and I'm going to take the first take because it was obviously, when she was still warming up, it was the most inconsistent tuning wise, so I'll use that. Okay, so the first step we want to do is we want to activate the channel for flex pitching. So there's a couple of ways that we can do that. We can either press Command and F, which will bring up this icon here, and then we can click that to on. It will analyze the file. Once it's done that, we can then select flex pitch. Another way we can activate flex on a channel is by clicking the channel and going to the left here and saying flex pitch, and then going up to the top and enabling flex there. Then once it's done your analysis, you should see your region looking like this. So we now know that the track's ready for editing, which we can do in two ways. First way is holding down Option and going around the section that we want to enlarge, and that will enlarge it on your arrange page and not going to edit, but you can still make the edits for each single phrase as you would like. The other option is for you to highlight the part and press E, and then make sure that track is selected and that you have the flex icon ticked as well. And then you will see all the parameters that flex analysis has done on your file so far. So when I now zoom into the first phrase, you can see that these are the notes that it's found, and it's created MIDI looking boxes that we can start manipulating. Okay, so each one of these boxes is a note. You have 6 little dots that are around that box. They are the dots that are going to be able to control this note. So first you have gain. Gain is pretty simple. You can click and hold and just turn the volume up and down as you like. This could be very handy if you've got something really quiet that you want to push up. So then above that we have pitch drift. This decides how this previous note slides into this note. So in this particular case, it kind of drags out from being flat, it drags into it. So it's actually in tune around this point, there and there, because the middle of this bar is 100% in tune. So the slight top end of this bar is a little bit sharp, and the bottom of this line is where it's starting to go flat. So pitch drift decides how you slide into that note. Then we go to the next one, and the next one says fine pitch 23. So that's telling us that it's flat by 23 of 100. So that's about a quarter of a note under. So if we wanted to have that straight, we would have that straight. But what you've got to be aware of is that this line here defines how much on the top end of that note it is and how much on the bottom end of that note is. So this is 100% of a note, and that's the top end of that note going into the next note, and then the bottom end. So to reiterate one more time, if this fine pitching is exactly at 0, then the middle of this bar along there is exactly in tune. Therefore, this vocal line that shows you that the tuning is going to the top actually shows you that that is plus half a semitone. And if it's right at the bottom, which this one isn't, but say it was right at the bottom, it would be minus half a semitone. The third one is pitch drift, but it's coming out. So again, it's pitch drift from this note to that note, or if I move the note up, from this note to that note going up. So then we get to Formant Shift. Formant Shift is quite a difficult one to explain. It is like a toning. So it's either a kind of a person on helium toning or a really low roar, a really low tone like that. So again, I will show that when we're working on the vocal, we can have a bit more of a look at that. Then the next dot is vibrato. This is the vibrato that's in that particular note. We can either reduce it or increase it. Rarely would you want to increase it, but sometimes you would want to decrease it. Maybe at the end of a line you want it to be less kind of vibrato-ish, or maybe there's one note that seems to feel kind of weak because it's got a lot of vibrato on it, and you can straighten that up a little bit. But be careful with how you use that, because it starts sounding very computerized if you overuse it. The other thing you can do is you can grab the note and pitch the note up by a semitone or 2 semitones or whatever you want to do. So if, for instance, you wanted to pitch the whole of this line up, you can highlight all of them and just pitch them all up at once. And finally, right-clicking or control-clicking on one or multiple note boxes will give you these undo options. Okay, so now let's have a listen to the vocal.
I can't relive it. Why I learned to keep it hide, hidden from myself on a carousel.
Okay, a decent take for a first take, absolutely, but let's tune it all up to make it a really good take. So let's do them phrase by phrase. So this is the first phrase. Okay, this tuning's slightly out. So first I would pitch that up. And then also the drag. So this is where the pitch shift makes a massive difference. So it slides up and it's a bit slow getting into it. So there's lots of different ways of doing this, and you're going to have to play around with it to see which one works, because each single line is slightly different. But if we chop this right here, you can see that that note's definitely still out there. So if I push that up, then you'll see that that pitch drift is coming in much quicker and much earlier. I could still push this up a little bit to get a bit more momentum on it. Let's have a listen. Yeah, it makes it more punchy. It gives it. Yeah, definitely. And then I would say that this one, bring that down and put it in tune. That's a little bit flat, and you can tell because of this. So we push that back up a bit. That's nice. And then the end here, then what I would do is I'd look at that and I'd go, okay, so you've got this vibrato line. So the actual note is about there. That's how I'd see that note, because in the middle of that vibrato, the person's probably trying to aim more towards that note there, usually, but sometimes it depends on who it is, but I know how she sings. So for me, this is flat, but the vibrato is too much. So yeah, maybe a little bit too much. And then this definitely needs vibrato less. And I've got a feeling that this needs to come down a little bit. Yeah, this one sounds flat. And this one. Yeah, still flat. That's nice. A bit sharper. Yeah, that's nice. That's pretty good. Let's leave that there. Then we go to the second one. Right. Okay.
Can't relive it.
Again, a lot of vibrato here.
Can't relive it.
The way this note slides in is a bit slow for me.
Can't relive it.
It's really, I want it to be a bit more punchy. So what I'm going to do is so there's, again, different ways of doing this, but you can do one way is by just chopping it and pushing that up, because then you've moved it so that the actual pitch drift line goes a lot quicker into the note.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, that's really nice. So this vibrato here is nice. That's a wiggle on the vocal. That's brilliant. I think this vibrato at the end here can come down a bit, as can that one. Let's have a listen.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, and then as you can hear here, it's definitely relive it is too much.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, relive it. So this is too high. So chop it a few times and then right, there we go. That's the section.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, this one can go down a bit more. And this one as well.
Can't relive it.
Nice. This can be a bit lower.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, and the end of it pitches off. So you can change the pitch drift on that, but to do it by that much, it will probably sound weird.
Can't relive it.
It's actually pretty decent.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, and this one's sharp.
Can't relive it. Can't relive it.
This leave is sharp.
Can't relive it.
This leave is sharp.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, this one's sharp.
Can't relive it.
That's quite nice.
Can't relive it.
It's a bit sharp.
Can't relive it.
Yeah, that's nice for now. Let's move on to the next one.
Why?
Right, so this Y is massively sharp. Again, there's a slight, and as you can see, this note is kind of, she's going, she's coming in like that. That's an exaggeration, but something like that. Again, there's a lot of vibrato. What we can do here is definitely, it starts off in tune, but then it goes out. So click it there, and as you can see, it jumps up because it's out. So let's drop that down, and you could just cheat and do another little cut. And that's the thing with the cuts. You can do as many cuts as you want to get it back into tune a little bit. You've got to be careful because sometimes it does start sounding computerized.
Why?
Yeah, better. Still sharp anyway. And then both of these are sharp as well.
Why?
Listen to that.
Why?
Much better. Still sharp, but getting there. Come on.
Why? Why?
Yeah, this is then bumping up a bit. And these are pretty cool, maybe a little bit sharp as well.
Why?
Take the vibrato down a little bit. Be careful that you don't go too quick because it does move very quickly.
Why?
Nice. It tightens it up a bit.
Why? Why?
That's quite nice.
I learn to keep it.
Right, so learn is flat.
I learn to keep. I learn to keep. I learn to keep. I learn to keep it.
So in that particular case, you see what happened there is I tried to tune this section and then this one didn't seem right with it. It didn't seem natural. So sometimes you have to just go undo, undo and highlight them both and go, you know, let's bring, because that's a nice, the way she does that is really nice, but it's just flat. So what happens now?
I learn to keep it.
Nice, bit sharp, but
I learn to keep it.
and then this is flat.
I learn to.
It should be ah.
I learn to keep.
So that was a whole note out there.
I learn to keep it.
But nice, that's nice. Bit of a vibrato at the end, just reduce that a bit.
I learn to keep it.
Nice. Next one.
Hide, hide.
So this goes up massively.
Hide,
This is flat. This is flat.
hide, hide,
Yeah, they're all a little bit flat.
hide, hide, hide.
Yeah, it's definitely sharp.
Hide,
Again, a lot of vibrato there, so just reduce that.
hide, hide.
That's nice. This here can definitely come down a little bit, and the end drift as well can come down a little bit. We have to chop that and chop it again because we need to keep that line in control and chop it again. Yeah.
Hide,
Yeah, this starts sounding weird now.
hide.
And this as well. So let's undo that a little bit. See, this is what happens. Sometimes Logic doesn't give you the exact result that you want, so you're better off just kind of sticking with what you've got and just making that nice. And if it's not good enough, then you need to take another vocal take that she's done and then decide from that how, you know, which one is better and which one works better. Sometimes the editing doesn't always work the way you want it to.
Hide,
That's pretty good. That's flat.
hide.
Let's keep that for now.
Hiding from myself.
Oh, this is a priming self. So she's dropping that down really slowly. So we keep the slide, but we want that to start a lot lower. So just go down and down.
Hiding from myself.
Yeah, and then this is flat.
Hiding from myself.
Yeah, and if you want more of a self, then you could push that back up again.
Hiding from myself.
Yeah, maybe still a bit more.
Hiding from myself.
Yeah, that's nice. And then we can make the pitch drift a bit higher here as well. Cut that, bring that up a bit so you still get a little bit of yourself, self.
Hiding from myself.
Lovely. A bit more.
Hiding from myself.
Yeah, that's nice.
Hiding from myself. Hiding from. Hiding.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The self, maybe the vibrato a little bit again.
Hiding from myself. On the.
Yeah. So on is flat.
hitting from on a carrot, on a carrot, on a carrot, on a carousel, on a myself, on a carrot, on a carousel.
Yeah, and then sail. That could have less vibrato. If you had it straight, it would sound something like this.
On a carousel, on a
It's very soft, so that could be nice, but I still like a little bit in there.
on a carousel, on
Sail. It's nice, slightly flat. Okay, so that's really nice. And then I would listen to the whole vocal from start to end to see how that sits.
I can't relive it. Why? I learned to keep it hide, hidden from myself on a carousel.
That's a lot better. So say, for instance, you did a formant. I'm just going to do it on all of them so you hear exactly what it is. So what a formant does, and it's something that I use rarely, but I do use it sometimes. So for instance, if like a short word, at a time, if someone says at a time, but you want it at a, like it's got more of a smile, then this is really excellent for that. So Formant Shift, I'll just go massive up the top and you'll hear what it sounds like.
Can't relive it.
As I said, it starts sounding like it's on helium. And then if you go the other way, can't relive it. I've done that too much. Let's do a bit less.
Can't relive it.
So it keeps the tuning, but it just creates a bit more of a toning in the vocal. Then there is one final feature that not a lot of people know about flex pitch, is that if you come out of your editor and then zoom into one of your lines, and I'll just play it so you know what I'm doing.
Why?
So the Y, the end of the Y here, I want that to be longer. I think it should be a bit more relaxed. So first I will then cut that vocal out so that if I'm affecting this, the timing of the line behind it and the rest of the audio doesn't get affected as well. I then go to the end of this note and then I can drag out the length. Be aware that there is a vibrato on it, so it's going to sound slightly weird, but just a little bit wouldn't be too bad.
Why?
Yeah, that's a lot slower.
Why?
That's what it was, or even shorter.
Why?
That's quite nice. You can do that on each note. So for instance, in this section here, you've got an isolated note. Those are the notes that are perfect. You cut them and then you can go in there, zoom in and just pull the end in like that. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, but more than that, I hope you've learned something. And if you have any questions, please DM me and I'll reply straight back to you. Please like and subscribe and press the bell for future content. Thank you.